Okay, so it's 4:17 in the morning, and haven't done this for a while, but just really felt led, woke up led to just do a quick little video blog and just talk about a couple things. Really, um, the thought was is are we willing to really step up when it comes to our friends? And I really mean this in the sense of ministry and making sure that we're doing what we should be doing. The situation that comes to mind is in the Bible. It talks about Job and his three friends. Now, mind you, Job's three friends probably did a lot of things wrong, but they did a lot of things right as well. Job's friends, made the time. They made the trip. You got to imagine that back in that day, it would have took them a massive amount of time, per se, to travel to get to Job. Job, as you know, was really struggling. God and the devil had a deal, and that the devil brought it to God, saying, "Hey, you really protect this guy a lot, and he's kind of like your pet." And God really wanted to, he's like, you know what? Fine, I'll let you do what you need to do, but you can't kill him. And with that said, there was a lot of turmoil and trials that Job went through over a short period of time, pretty much losing everything except for his life, including his kids, his servants, his animals, his livestock, his whole empire, if you would, was gone. So, but his friends, there was three of them, and they traveled. And when they saw their friend from a distance, they didn't even recognize him. And instead of just approaching him with this unsincere sense of whatever, they cried out, they wailed. They really, it upset them. It moved them emotionally. It moved them as friends. It just tore them down as well. And they rent their clothes. They tore their clothes, and they put dirt on their heads, and they sat for 7 days. They sat without saying a word. And I know a lot of us can't imagine sitting for a short period of time without saying a word, let alone sitting for 7 days. But this was really significant in on many levels. First of all, that they poured their heart out. They did what they felt they needed to do, and this was a customary type thing back in and it's referred to in the Bible, in many places where in mourning the person would sit and just sit in silence. So these three men sat with Job for 7 days and didn't speak a word, and reflected. And it really reflected on what was going on with Job. Now, I say all this. Now, I won't get into to that a whole lot more, and I'll keep this. Try to do as much brevity to this video as possible. But this is where God really spoke to me, is when our friends are going through things, when our people, our family, our neighbors are really struggling and going through some stuff. Maybe they're going through the spiritual warfare that all of us go through from time and again. The devil really beats us up and really puts things out there just to tear us down. But are we willing to sit there in silence? Are we willing to pour our heart out and let our friends know how much they mean to us, and let them know how much that we're there for them, truly there, not just fake there? And there's a difference. That there's a true difference whether or not you're truly there or not. Are we sitting there in silence and just listening? And the ironic thing about the word silent and the word listen, they use the same letters to form those words. do we sit there and just humble ourselves and make it all about them, and make it all about their situation, not what's going on in our lives or the things that's important to us at the time, but what's going on in that individual's life right now. In Job's situation, he lost everything. He lost his kids, his servants, his income, everything. His wife even told him to curse God and die. And to me, that would be just this whole huge, this low of the low moment. But to have those three individuals, even though, they probably said things that weren't right, and they probably did things that weren't right, but this, the initial moments, they were there for him. They did something right. They sat there in silence. They talked to him when it was time. They listened. They humbled themselves. They put themselves, just in the dirt. And a lot of us can't imagine. That's just totally out of character for us, or that we would go that far to really, just we're not going to tear our clothes off and sit there with them in the dirt. This is my challenge. This is my encouragement to everyone that if you watch this, thank you. Continue watch and share. And these are just my thoughts. And leave comments and have discussions about this kind of stuff. But are we truly there for our friends and family? Are we there for our neighbors, the people that's in our lives that's not us? So the encouraging part, the challenge parts of this would be to really step up and reflect on what we need to be doing, and what we need to be doing in relationship to what Job's friends did. How we can take a stand, and how we can just sit there with them. Just a few thoughts. I know it's early in the morning here, but just something to think about.